with that down, let's move on to main topic number 2. And our second main topic today gets submitted to us by Eli M. And Eli M writes, the 2006 Sacha Baron Cohen movie Borat is flat out one of my all-time favorite movies and also one of the funniest I've ever seen. Did you see the reports that Cohen has secretly already shot and edited a sequel that nobody knew about? Apparently, he's already screened it for some people as well. So my question is, how excited are you for a Borat 2? And do you think it can make the same kind of impact that the first film had? All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yeah, I started seeing headlines and tweets coming in that Sacha Baron Cohen has actually shot a Borat 2 and has actually already started screening it from some people. It's crazy to me. Let me give you a little bit of context on my thoughts about Borat. The first movie, the original Borat, and Make Benefit for Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan, whatever the actual full title was, to me was one of the most unique and enjoyable movie-going experiences I've ever had. Rob, I've only ever given a perfect, when I used to give numerical scores to movies, which I haven't done for a couple of years now, but when I used to, I think there's only like 7 or 8, maybe 9 films that I ever gave a perfect 10 out of 10 to when I was actually doing a review of them. Borat was one of them. To me, the just pure absolute hilarity, but there was a genius to that movie of the way that Sacha Baron Cohen as this character Borat just held up a mirror, as ugly as it was at times, held up a mirror to our society and to our culture and said, here, look at yourselves. And there was something powerful in that and moving while I was laughing my ass off. Her vagine was like wizard's sleeve. One of the greatest lines in any movie ever. Now, my second viewing of it, though, I got to say my second viewing of it was much less enthusiastic because I had seen it, like the shock of that and everything had worn off. So it's not a movie that replayed well to me, but my first viewing of Borat, like honestly, seriously, one of the most unique in the mixture of absolutely crying at hilarity, but also being very moved in many ways by this reflection of our society that he was holding up this mirror to. It's a beautiful combination. I wasn't a big fan of his other stuff. Like, what's the one other character? He did a standalone movie for one of his other characters that does the Gino or whatever the name of the character was. I can't remember what it was.
The fashionista.
Yeah, that one didn't work for me as well. I wasn't a big fan of The Dictator, although it does have its moments. There are a few moments in The Dictator that is like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. So you would think with the amount that I enjoy that first Borat, you think I'd be all about this. And I will admit, I'm very curious. I am very, very curious for a lot of different reasons. My one kind of apprehension about it is that Borat worked perfectly because it catches you so by surprise. Like that whole first movie just was constantly catching me by surprise. And I think that's why when I went in to watch it the second and third time, it didn't have nearly the same impact on me because the surprise of it, the shock of it, the uniqueness of it played. And my worry here, Rob, and maybe it's a baseless worry, my worry here going into a Borat 2, if that is indeed all these reports are correct, is that the whole second one might just feel that way to me. That's like, I've already been surprised and shocked by Borat. I now know what to expect from Borat. But I don't know, maybe not. Again, that first one was like one of the best movie-going experiences I ever had. But anyway, Rob, you hear about all this, the prospects of a Borat 2 and the fact that he was able to pull it off, kind of making it secretly. What's your take on this?
Well, look, I, like you, watching Borat for the first time was a singular experience. I mean,
that's a good way to put it. It's a singular experience.
It was pretty crazy. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. I liked the character. I'm a huge fan of Sacha Baron Cohen's comedy. I like the Ali G show. I watch that all the time. And it's great to see his evolution. And even when he's in stuff like Talladega Nights, you know, I think he's an incredible performer. So I would hope and I would think that, especially with sort of the political minded shows he's been doing, the interview shows and things like that, I think if he's doing a new Borat movie, he must have a good take on it, especially in the times we're living in now, which is the crazy comes on a daily basis. So I can only imagine what he has up his sleeve for this movie. I think he probably has a vision for it. And now that everybody's kind of in on the joke and knows who Borat is, you know, he couldn't rely on what he used to rely on to make the character work. So I'm curious to see what he has cooking. So I'm excited for it. You know, I read this, I think yesterday it came out or something, and I'm like, well, that's interesting. Like, how does Sacha Baron Cohen get away with shooting a secret Borat movie? Doesn't everyone know who Borat is? Like, how do you do that? And so I'm excited just to see how it works, and I'm hoping that he has a great take on it. So just another crazy, wonderful gift we're getting in these crazy times. So bring it on.
All right, guys. Question is, what do you think about this? I mean, listen, I have some pessimism because, again, I kind of feel like I'm worried that maybe the Borat thing has played out for me personally, but I'd be lying if I didn't tell you I was totally fascinated by this. I do like Sacha Baron Cohen very much. What are you thinking about this? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.